Thank you for taking the time to watch the GSI AMTAS Pro tutorial. GSI AMTAS Pro is a software program that is connected to a GSI audiometer. The AMTAS Pro software allows a patient to interact with the computer to complete a basic diagnostic hearing evaluation. AMTAS uses the calibrated audiometer and transducers along with years of research and validation to ensure the hearing test results are accurate and repeatable. Before testing your first patient, verify that the AMTAS software has been installed on your computer and that you have all the required test accessories. Please refer to the Installation and Setup section of the GSI AMTAS user manual prior to installing the software. This will ensure all precautions and prerequisites are met and there is a thorough understanding of security options. To test a patient with AMTAS Pro, you will need the following: DD450 circumaural headphones, the bone conduction oscillator removed from the silver headband, an elastic AMBAND, Velcro dot, aux stereo cable, and the USB A to B cable. The room noise monitor is available as an optional accessory. It provides an analysis of the noise in the test environment and will alert the user if a threshold may have been affected by excessive noise. Once the software is installed on the computer and you have gathered all the test accessories, connect the audiometer to the computer using the USB cable. Connect the B end of the USB cable to the audiometer and the A end to the PC. Next, take the aux stereo cable and plug one end into the external AB port on the back of the audiometer and the other end into the headphone port of the computer. Inspect the back of the audiometer to verify the DD450 headphones are plugged into the proper red and blue HF headphone ports and that the bone oscillator is plugged into the BC port. This is an ideal time to make sure the software and the audiometer are communicating properly and to set up your AMTAS software protocol according to your clinic needs using the configuration application. Once configured, open the AMTAS software and press Get Started to begin the test. Before placing the transducers, it's recommended that you inform the patient what to expect from the evaluation. Explain that you are going to place a headband and headphones on their head, and they will hear a series of beeps or tones followed by words. Instruct the patient to follow the instructions and that they must respond by touching the computer screen. Inform the patient that during the pure tone test, they may hear a swishing noise as well as a tone. They should only respond to the tone. Be sure to stress that during speech testing, some of the words will be very soft and they must guess by simply selecting any word on the screen to proceed through the test. Once the patient understands what to do, place the AMBAND headband around the patient's head and ensure that it is in the center of the forehead. Then slide the bone oscillator under the AMBAND so that the round part of the transducer is in the middle of the patient's forehead. When the bone oscillator is secure, place the circumaural headphones over the patient's ears, making sure both ears are within the center part of each ear cup. Make sure the red headphone labeled R is over the right ear and the blue headphone labeled L is over the left ear. If adjustments are needed, remove the headphones and adjust the headband for a secure fit. From the opening screen of the AMTAS software, press the Get Started button to begin the test. Depending on the configuration, a few preliminary screens may appear prior to the test instructions. For example, the patient may be asked to enter their demographic information or perform the headphone check. Each preliminary screen will require the patient to press Continue in the lower right corner of the screen. Be prepared to show the patient where to touch the computer screen. This will be helpful as they proceed through the evaluation. The instructions will be displayed immediately before the AMTAS evaluation starts. If the test instructions are displayed, ensure the patient has time to review them before he presses continue to the test. If the video instructions are displayed, AMTAS will begin testing automatically at the end of the instructions. AMTAS is an automated method for obtaining a diagnostic pure tone audiogram, including air and bone conduction thresholds with masking in the non-test ear. It is a single interval, yes-no psychophysical procedure with feedback. In other words, the patient interacts with the software and the software makes decisions on the next step based on the patient's response. During the test, the patient will see a screen that displays "Listen for a tone," and then the screen will change to "Did you hear a tone?" and they must indicate yes or no by touching the screen. Catch trials, where the software says "Listen for a tone," but no tone is presented, are placed randomly throughout the test. The patient may see feedback screens. For example, if they respond yes to a catch trial, a message will be displayed that informs the patient they selected yes when there was no tone presented and to please listen carefully. If the patient does not respond for 22 seconds, a message will be displayed to prompt the patient to proceed. On each one of the feedback screens, the patient must press continue to proceed with the test. Speech testing is a single interval forced choice procedure. The software will display "Listen for a word" and then display a screen that says "What word did you hear?" The patient must choose a word to move the test forward. When the test is completed, the AMTAS software will display a message indicating the patient should get the facilitator, or it may return to the main screen. The AMTAS software will generate a professional report that includes the patient's audiogram, speech scores, audiometric classification, and quality indicators. A patient report may be used to explain the results. These options are defined in the configuration application during the initial setup of the equipment. Data management of AMTAS is seamless and flexible. It automatically saves a PDF of the professional report for review. In addition, you can transfer the patient's data stored in the audiometer to GSI Suite, NOAA, Audbase, or any other program that's compatible. AMTAS uses the PC volume to play the video instructions. If the instructions are not being played through the headphones, check the following. Ensure that the aux stereo cable is plugged into the external AB port on the back of the audiometer and the headphone jack on the PC. Next, ensure the output device is the headphones and not the internal speakers of the PC. Finally, ensure that the volume of the PC is not muted and that the volume level is 100%. During the installation of the GSI AMTAS Pro software, the administrator must select the desired security setting: Windows, single password, or no security. Security requires the user to enter the Windows username and password or a known single password to enter the configuration application and to exit the software program. It is possible to change the security of the software by uninstalling and reinstalling and choosing a different security level, such as single password or no password required. The AMTAS software uses the audiometer that is connected to the PC to obtain audiometric results. If the audiometer is not communicating with the computer, the message "Unable to connect to device" will be displayed. To troubleshoot this issue, first ensure the USB cable is securely plugged into both the audiometer and the computer. Next, ensure the USB suspend is disabled in the power options of the computer's control panel. Finally, check to ensure the Instrument Services interface is working properly. If there is still a connection issue, contact your distributor or GSI. The AMBAND is designed to hold the bone oscillator in place with appropriate force for bone conduction testing. The band has 3 Velcro points corresponding to infant, pediatric, and adult that will ensure proper size for the patient's head. For easiest placement, it's recommended that the Velcro be connected before it's applied to the head. After you select the proper connection point, hold the Velcro connection with one hand while you place the headband around the patient's head. If the patient does not respond to the prompts during AMTAS, the software will eventually display the message, "Test incomplete, please notify administrator." The results, if any are available, that are successfully obtained will be displayed in a professional report. The test facilitator or interpreting audiologist can determine whether the patient may be able to complete the evaluation with re-instruction or if the patient is a candidate for manual audiometry. GSI AMTAS is not designated as a sterile device. Non-disposable parts of the system, including headphone cushions and headband, bone vibrator, and the touchscreen, which are in direct contact with the patient, need to be disinfected between patients. This includes physically wiping down the equipment that comes in contact with the patient by using a disinfectant approved by your facility. Use of a non-alcohol-based disinfectant is recommended. Non-alcohol-based products contain the active ingredient referred to as quaternary ammonia compound, or a hydrogen peroxide cleaner may be used. The quaternary ammonia compound and hydrogen peroxide are specifically designed to disinfect rubber, plastic, silicone, and acrylic products, which are commonly used in hearing evaluation instruments. This concludes the tutorial on GSI AMTAS Pro. If any additional questions arise, please consult the user manual, contact your local distributor, or contact GSI.